Let's try the tunes. And now we pause.
I know about the pause.
It's Tour the Tunes. I'm your host, Sarah Morris. Folks come to my big green bathroom somewhere north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we sing a little, we talk a bit, we put it out on the internet just in time for your Friday afternoon. Of course it's the internet, so you go on and watch it when you choose. But there's a new episode coming out real soon, so stay toward the tune, stay toward the tune.
And that was our pause. Leslie knew about the pause.
I knew.
Did you?
I knew.
I'm Sarah Morris. I invite people into my big green bathroom. People like Leslie Rich. Leslie, hi. It's good to have you back here.
Hi, everyone.
It's been a minute.
It's always nice to be in the big green bathroom. It's lovely. You know what? I always thought that it was part of your home, but now, I just realized that it's just forest right outside the door.
That's right.
It's just a building all by itself.
Oh my God,
just
that'd
a
be
little
amazing.
bathroom in the middle of the wilderness.
That's where I live. Yeah. Like Little House on the Prairie, but little bathroom.
Green bathroom
Yeah.
on the prairie or in the forest.
It's true. We're gonna sing a song and then do some talking. Are you ready for that?
I can do both.
You brought
Not
us
at the same
on a
time.
very gray November day some summer sweetness. Thank you.
This is the whole point.
It was good. I like a game plan. All right.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening. It sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling, so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go without. Hey, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar strawberries on a summer evening. Baby, you're the end of June. I want your belly and that summer feeling. Get it washed away with you. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. Hey, watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it, watermelon sugar high. I just wanna taste it, I just wanna taste it, watermelon sugar high. Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening. It sounds just like a song. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go without.
Yes, Leslie Rich.
Ah!
Watermelon sugar. Today is the day after Thanksgiving in North America here, and did you have any watermelon sugar on any sort of...
I do not watermelon anything.
I don't watermelon anything. Do you ever,
I don't do melons.
like all the melons?
All the melons.
I don't either.
I'm not into melons. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Controversially, I am also not into peanut butter.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with peanut butter, so
Sure.
no peanut butter for me.
Never.
Please. Or watermelon sugar.
Hi. Just kidding. Leslie Rich, you were fantastic, and that was really, really
Cheers.
fun.
Thanks.
I enjoyed that so much. Last time you were here, you brought Nick Cave. Is that true?
That is true. A true fact.
We sang a darker song.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
This was much more lighthearted.
a little poppy blast.
I felt like since the last time I was here, people were only just getting out of the low funk that we brought them to.
Right.
It was time to uplift them again.
But not too much, right? Because we got nice minor chords. And in general, our job as a musician sometimes is to craft that. Bring it
Weave
low.
it through, man.
Bring it back up. Leslie, one of the reasons that you're here, that our timing is bringing you here today, is that you're getting ready to release an EP.
I am getting ready to release an EP.
Can you tell us about Hard Hard Love? It's coming out on December 8th. Did I get it right?
That is absolutely right.
Okay.
Yes. So Hard Hard Love is a bunch of songs that all came this year. We sing chirpy songs to deal with some sadness sometimes, but I lost a lot of people this year.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I lost my mom and my dad, and my parents were always great muses for me. Mm-hmm. So I always kind of had songs that were sort of about them and the antics that they got up to. And so a ton of songs all came from those deaths at the beginning of the year, and then throughout the year as I was sort of dealing with things and learning how to deal with grief and all of that sort of stuff. And the band and I, due to, I mean, pretty much the Rocket Soul Choir had every ailment under the sun this year.
The Rocket Soul Choir is your band that you play with in
regularly play with around town.
Right.
And so we couldn't get together. We go, are we practicing tonight? No, I'm having a piece of my body removed or whatever it was.
I'm down an eyeball.
It was just, I'm down an eyeball, I'm down a lung, I'm down a gallbladder, whatever it was just constant. And so the songs didn't pull together as quickly as I wanted. And then just recently, you and I and a bunch of other great Minnesota musicians and national musicians ended up at FARM, the Folk Alliance.
We just ended up there.
Regional Midwest. We didn't even plan it. So I thought I should bring something with me to FARM. So we got in touch with Eric Martin, Julian Rez, lovely producer husband, and hammered out just acoustic guitar and vocals.
Oh, cool.
And then I played with those a little bit at my home studio, and then through that I got in contact with my, I would call Stephen Helvig my normal producer, and so then Stephen Helvig and myself pulled those songs into his system, and we said, let's finish them today, and we just made stuff happen.
Amazing.
And it just all pulled together. I sent, so there's a single out right now called The Rememberer, and I had been working on it at home and pulled together, a drum machine and a little bass guitar and that sort of thing, and was on the phone texting with my good friend Nick Costa, who plays guitar, and not around town anymore really, but has played with a lot of good people, Four on the Floor and American Scarecrows for a little while. And he's out in California right now, and he said, oh, that sounds great, send it to me. So I did. And then about 10 o'clock that night, he sent me back 6 tracks of guitar and pedal steel and said, what does this sound like? And I went, that is awesome. So we pulled that stuff in too. And so we have the single, The Remember, out, and then the full EP, 6 tracks, Hard Hard Love, will be out on December 8th.
Feels like big magic. Like when a friend, if you send something to a friend that like kind of casually, and then they are just like, oh, I was so inspired by what you did that I felt the need to contribute. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and he took it in a totally different direction than I would have left to my own devices.
Sometimes we need to not be left to our own devices.
And he's that kind of guitar player where he's just, it's not, oh, there's a guitar player. Here's the song. It's fully fledged. And then Nick Costa comes in and, oh, there's the guitar part. He has this way of creating guitar parts that just lifts everything up without it standing out like there's a guitar part in there. Though they had a guitarist in for this. So he's good that way. Yeah, he's fun to work with. And it's fun to work remotely, especially when you're working remotely.
Yeah.
And then, so it really does feel like it's coming out of nowhere. So the song, the guitar, to me sounds very California. He happens to be in California. And I
it's
think
just dripping all over the track.
I think it just all showed up. So
I love that.
So yeah, so it added a lot to it, and I'm very excited.
You mentioned Eric Martin and Jillian Ray, friends of the show. Did you record in their new space?
Yes,
they've been working all year on a new studio.
The new studio is so lovely. The studio that they used to have in the basement was a lovely space where you sort of forgot where you were, right? You were just sort of connected with the band. But was a basement.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of got that space. It's still got that vibe, but it's in obviously purpose-built little spot.
Amazing.
So it's great, yeah.
Amazing. And then Stephen Helvig, you mentioned. He has Secrets from the Scene podcast, right?
He does,
Which is a fantastic... I was a guest once. I presume you were a guest?
Myself and Annie Enikin, also a friend of Big Green Bathroom, we went and did an episode on songwriting. Yeah,
I will have to link to that because it's a really fantastic episode highlighting so many people from our scene. Stephen asks great questions, and it was really a great excuse to see his studio as well.
He, the studio was, I just love the space.
We are an abundance of that kind of stuff in town.
Secrets of the from the Scene is just that's his way of giving back.
Yeah.
All the things that he's learned and all of the bands and musicians and songwriters and other producers that he works with, just to share their knowledge and put it out there so that we all benefit.
It's so cool.
It's beautiful.
We are going to ask some questions, as we do here on this show. I'm going to tell everybody, I left my poster. I made you this really fancy poster. So in addition to releasing your album on December 8th, you have a show that you're performing on December 8th with another friend of the bathroom. Can we say his name at one time? 1, 2, 3. Ben Cook.
I was going to say BCF.
False.
Benjamin Cookerfelts.
Cookerfelts. I like that. It's the holiday shindig at the Cedar. We talked about it actually last week because Ben was on the show last week. So we're just reminding you again, December 8th, it's at 2 o'clock. It is, in addition to featuring special guest Leslie Rich, there will be special guest Nikki Lemire, and there will be special guest Haley E. Rydell and Santa. Actually, I don't know about Santa.
Santa should be there. It's not, Ben, it's not a shindig if there's no Santa.
It's not a shindig if there's no Santa. We'll write that later.
I am excited for it because the information we shared about losing parents and stuff, that's why I missed last year's shindig because I was supposed to be part of that.
Gotcha.
And he was very kind to say, well, why don't we try again this year? And I said, yes.
Yes. Yes. And you should say yes, too. Here at Toilet Tunes, we are sponsored. We have some sponsorships. I'm going to ask you, no, I offered Leslie a coffee. Leslie said no, but how do you feel about coffee?
Drink coffee pretty much all day long.
Okay.
But I have to space.
Should I take it personally then?
I'm 53 years of age now, so I have to space this stuff out so that it ends at a specific time. And I already started with 2 this morning before coming up to see you.
Yeah, I had 2 this morning before you came to me, and then what I did was I switched to decaf. But long story to tell you that one of our sponsors is Winnow MN. Are you familiar with Winnow MN?
I am not.
Look at their cute logo.
Winnow are now.
Is a coffee roasting subscription service.
Oh yeah.
So if you go and sign up at Winnow MN, once a month you get a bag of coffee or 2 bags or 3 bags, whatever you want, from a different Minnesota roaster. So it's a way to travel the state, to meet different small businesses and get that into your belly. I want your belly and that summer feeling, or whatever. This month we're drinking Curioso coffee. Their Big Band blend. I've actually been to their space, which is very lovely, and the coffee is delicious as well. So if you go to Winnow and use code STAYToiletTube, you get $5 off your first bag.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. Then our other sponsor is Wackik. Have you been to Wyoming, Minnesota, Leslie Rich?
I have not been to Wyoming, Minnesota.
Have you sung at the Hallberg Center for the Arts in the
I
round?
have not.
Really? Well, this should be fixed. I've got people.
I'm always up for singing songs with other people.
Yes. Well, Hallberg Center for the Arts in Wyoming, Minnesota. They have the Wyoming Area Creative Arts Community, and I'm near certain I got that right, but Wackik.
Wackik.
They are a beautiful little building that is an art gallery. It has a community space where people can come together and learn about arts of a variety of kinds. They switch out their galleries like monthly. It's really amazing. And then once a month, they have a songwriter evening where they pay their songwriters. People can come, I think it's donation based, and it's a pin drop quiet audience. It's really a beautiful moment. And then they also stream it live on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
So the next one is December 5th. That's next Thursday. And the guests are Alicia Kay, Phil Burbig, and Joyanne Parker. And they'd be lucky to have you sometime.
I must reach out.
So thanks to Wackik.
I must get my people
Get
onto
your
their
people.
people.
Yes. Okay. Now, Leslie Rich, the questions. Will you? Tell me something good. Tell me something good that you're seeing in the world. Big, little, whatever that means to you.
This is pertinent.
I love pertinent. That's a great word.
But not controversial.
Okay.
I am a big believer that we can spend too much time thinking about the big world outside or the big nation. And we should spend time thinking about those things, but sometimes we can spend too much time and we forget all the stuff that happens just in our little circles.
Yeah.
And so one of the exciting things for me is that I decided, well, in order to affect my local area, I should get involved with city government.
Oh, that's hot.
And so I have been accepted onto the Police Advisory Commission, which I think is really good because, I come from Northern Ireland. They have had a lot of troubles and a police service that was very, very, very challenged. And then a police service also that changed, very drastically changed the way they do things in order to be sort of more modern and be able to help their community. And so I get to be part of that for St. Louis Park, which is where I live. So that I'm super excited about that. That starts, I think, on the 1st of December. I start
That's
working
amazing.
on that. So that's good. And then I'm always excited by my bakery. I work and run a bakery called Angel Food over in St. Louis Park. It's also in the airport. But that is a joy to me pretty much every day. Just because, it smells of donuts and sprinkles. So my senses are enlivened. And we brew Folly Coffee, which is a local company. So
they've been a Winnow.
Yeah,
they were Winnow this summer. They're great.
Those boys are fantastic, and so we really enjoy their coffee. So that's basically Angel Food is a big community space. Just recently, we had the storms up here, and it knocked out all of the electricity in St. Louis Park. And for some reason, the residents of St. Louis Park said, I know what I'll do. I'll go to Angel Food to get my breakfast and my coffee and work and internet and all of that sort of stuff. And that felt really good to me because it shows that we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And they feel that is one of their community spaces, and they came for help, and we helped them. We fed them as best we could with sugar.
But
Lots of little kids.
Not watermelon sugar.
Not watermelon
You've explained
sugar.
there could be a watermelon sugar donut. How would you bring that to life? Would it be a raised or a cake?
All of the things in St. Louis Park are raised donuts. Because there is a problem with our cake donut recipe when it's paired with St. Louis Park water.
You told me this, and that, I like that.
It's a true fact.
Because people talk about like pizza in Brooklyn, Brooklyn water. So I mean, it's actually pretty thrilling to hear that.
True fact. So we don't do them out in St. Louis Park. Katie Gertis, the wonderful owner of Angel Food, she will always, if you say, "Oh, I've got an idea," Katie Gertis is kind of like, "I am filled up with ideas." I mean, that woman doesn't stop, so she's always got ideas, and it's quite possible there was a watermelon sugar thing in there some point.
Next summer,
but it hasn't made it yet.
Okay. One good thing that I heard in all the things that you said, you encouraged that sometimes we need to come back to where we actually are. And I love this little mantra, I want to be where my feet are. And you are being where your feet are, but in a big, in a way that has an eye on the greater good. And that's a beautiful thing. You're where your feet are, and you're letting your feet involve that area involve other humans.
That change always
really beautiful.
That change always starts at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. So that's actually if you're when you're feeling scared of something.
Yeah.
When you're scared of spiders, one of the best things to do is to face that fear, right? So again, if you're feeling overwhelmed with things that are going on in the world or things that are going on in the nation, then focus more locally, and then you can feel like you're actually doing something good. I think about Terry Walsh, another friend of everybody.
He does so much good.
He does so much good, right? With Foothold, and always playing shows and raising money for Foothold to actually give people a foothold.
Yeah.
And it's so that's the way to help alleviate some of the worry. You should never lose focus of it. You can always do something to change it, but working closely at home where your feet are.
My slippered feet.
It's a good idea.
Another fun fact with Leslie Rich, though, is when I've watched you perform, you actually have a very cool rock star stance, and I was watching you when we were practicing, and your feet were doing cool bouncing. That it's you can't even, the music is so in you that your feet, well, it's okay. So be where your rock star feet are. The next question is, Leslie Rich, where are you learning right now?
Where am I learning right now? I'm always learning, which is probably a thing. I think one of the things that came up recently, I have a lot of a generation that is much, much younger than me that works for me at the bakery. And so there's always a challenge of trying to navigate. Well, number one, trying to understand what the heck it is they're saying. Because I'm over half a century old right now. And some of the language I don't always understand. And so there's always trying to find the common communication ground so that I can get what I need across to obviously help the bakery, and they can get what they need across so that we can work together really well.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot about that. I just recently, I'm not going to be able to name them off the top of my head now, but just recently got a book list of books. Probably for me, but mostly for them to help. A lot of them are just learning life.
Sure.
Right?
I'm just learning life too, but yes, they're learning it for maybe the first time.
This is the thing, you always are learning.
It's true.
But when you first start to learn that sort of early 20s, late teens, early 20s, it's really fun to see. Some of it can be painful, obviously, to kind of get from the comfort where you were into now being an adult responsible for yourself. So I'm always learning that, but specifically this last week, I got this little book list, and I plan to create them a little library of resources that they can use
Love it.
to help them be, I don't know, whatever it is
Off
they wanna do.
camera, if you come up with that list, we can. I would love a
Sure.
peek at it. It's a good place to be learning. Okay, for you, where are you learning is the right now. This is more about the all the time. What is the steady beat of it? Something that you can always depend on, return to, that will support you, restore you.
Music.
Yeah, I've heard about that stuff.
I
I've heard
You
it's
know,
got that effect on some of us.
I do noodle all the time while sitting on the sofa, so I'm always coming up with something. We obviously play a lot as you do, and I love that too. And I love practicing. I love being with Adam Robinson and Pete Bolger and creating music together. But my absolute, truly happy place is in the studio, behind a microphone, because there's a different kind of magic that happens in the studio. And so that's why I have a home studio.
Yeah.
Because I can go upstairs and make that happen. But there's something about just kind of fiddling with things and playing with knobs and trying new stuff out, and I that's really creative for me. And that's always a good place to go and forget about the world and forget about problems and feel restored. And I'm very lucky that Jennifer Rich, Mrs. Rich, the current Mrs. Rich, we joke about that. She has a real understand as an illustrator. She has a real understanding about creativity, and so even though our fields are different, the process for each of us is the same, and so we're always involved in each other's process. So it's kind of when it's exciting for one person, it's exciting for the other. So that's fun.
Did you have a studio pre-COVID, home studio, or is it was it resulting of that?
Yes, I did. We owned a home with a basement, and I had the basement as a studio and recorded out of there. That was good. And then just before COVID, we were sort of in a transition period, and we were renting for a little while. And I didn't have a studio. I was a little lost. But there was this completely useless for us, a California closet in the main bedroom.
Oh.
And it really was a closet. It was probably half the size of this little bathroom. Oh. And when COVID hit and we were talking about, doing some live streams and learning all of that, right? Jennifer suggested, well, why don't you just do it in the closet? And it turned out to be adorable. Yeah. We changed the shelves and built a little tiny mini studio in there.
Nice.
And set up cameras, and so I did a lot of shoots from there, a lot of songs from there, wrote a lot of songs in there. And so that was actually really fun, even though it was small and it was a little hot sometimes. But it was a very, very inspiring place to be.
Yeah. It's good to have inspiring places. Will you take us by the ear and spin us out to something you've been listening to that is getting your own ears hot and bothered, turning you on, kind of?
100% right now, this minute, is Low Moon.
Say more.
Low Moon, LOMOON, are on tour right now. They just, I think they've just wrapped up in Europe, and they're coming back to the United States. And will be in the 7th Street entry on December 1st. Oh,
that's in like 2 days.
And
2 days.
I'm going to go and see them.
Amazing.
I have suggested James over there
that they might use an opener.
Entry, that they should use.
They should.
An opener that's excited. That, and then just before I sort of discovered Low Moon, and they've been going for a while, but I only just discovered them. I also am absolutely loving Cassandra Jenkins' new album. She's a singer-songwriter, and I don't think she's been watching this, but I don't think she'd be annoyed at anything I would say anyway. But let's say that Cassandra was a sort of a normal singer-songwriter, probably a little bit in the vein of Suzanne Vega, not wrong at all, and it was not an insult, but there is something about this new record this year that I don't know what happened to her, but it's a piece of magic. It really is a piece of magic.
What's the title of the album?
The album is called... I can find out in about 2 seconds because it's right here at the top of my list.
That's good. And then I will link to it below because that's what we do, because you probably I need something new for
My Light, My Destroyer.
My Light, My Destroyer.
And the song Clams Casino is a worthy video to watch on YouTube if you want to take a little YouTube jaunt.
I can even link to that.
Yeah.
I sure can, because this show is on YouTube, you know?
She's good people.
All right. You're good people, Leslie Rich. This
Thanks.
is Joy. Thank you for bringing your watermelon sugar here. It's just always so good to see you. And thank you to Winnow for sponsoring us over at Toilet Tunes. Go use code STAYTOiletTunes. Get $5 off your first bag. It's a great gift if you're buying gifts for people. They have gifting options too. So you could do the subscription for yourself, and then you can do like a 3-month gift to people. So it's a gift that keeps giving, and I personally am a fan of consumable gifts because I don't need anything in my house that needs dusting. So I like gifts that I can eat and drink. Then I want to thank Wackek. We love you at Wackek. Happy Songwriter Thursday next week. And then I get to thank my Sarah subscribers. Over on Patreon.
Look at them.
Look at them. Look at these beautiful
Holy
humans.
smokes.
Everyone who's ever been a part of us, you get your name on a heart. And just so thankful.
It's incredible.
Yeah, we can't do this alone. It's for sure true. Until next Friday, stay toilet tuned.